What's up, guys? We should be live. I'm here with Chef.
What up?
PokeChef954, person who's been on the channel many a time, business partner, eBay live streamer, all the amazing things. Chef, if you want to tell people where they can find you before we hop into questions and talking to chat, go ahead and do that, and then we'll hop into our conversation we have here.
All right. What up? I go by PokeChef954. You can find me on eBay Live streaming Pokemon auctions. All auctions start at $1. Do single slabs and pack rips. And you can also find me on Instagram at PokeChef954. Feel free to reach out and say what up.
Yeah, eBay Live, man.
Yeah.
You and Weedle and Nick are like the cornerstones of the homies on eBay Live.
Yep.
Grimer says, "Are you a real chef?" Ponga doesn't seem to think so, but I've had his food before, and I can confirm he is a real chef. It's great food. Yeah, so give us a little bit of a rundown on kind of where your love for Pokemon started and then where you're at now in terms of business collecting and all the good stuff.
All right. So I was around when Pokemon was coming out. I was around. I remember when Base Set came out, Fossil, Jungle, Team Rocket. Despite a little bit opposite of what Nick's story is, Team Rocket is this set, an awesome set, Nick, if you're listening, that really sealed the deal for me with Pokemon. So when Pokemon was coming out, I had a friend who introduced me to it. Him and his mom collected, and he also played, and his mom played and taught us how to play. And then we started doing the tournaments at Toys R Us. And I used to love doing that because she would take us, his mom would take us over there to Toys R Us. We'd play in the tournaments. And then when we leave, she would like take us somewhere to eat or like Burger King. A lot of times it was just Burger King. And that was like awesome to me, whatever, being a kid. But I've been around since the beginning. Team Rocket is where I really got interested in everything. And then the movies were coming out. It was just really cool. And then I really liked the Ancient Mew promo. I really liked the WB Stamp promos, how you got them with the movie theater. I like the Game Boy promos, the Nintendo Power promos. I was just really into that stuff. And then it was really cool, kind of unique arts and like something that was sealed or different, or I don't know. I just really like that. And it's always like the love for Pokemon has kind of always been there. But then same old story as everybody else. You get older, you get out of that stuff. And pretty much kind of the same thing again. Like COVID happened, and I was trying to buy a house at that time, and I was getting a house built, and I wanted to put some more money up towards that house. So I went through some of my old cards and I started selling them. And then it's funny, I've told this story before, but like I would pair, like I had a lot of old vintage cards, but they were really good condition. So I had like the Neo Umbreon, like pristine and everything, like really nice. But if there was like a card that was like really high or a card that I didn't think was like that popular, like something like that, I would put like another vintage holo that just had like one scratch or something on it. And I'd be like, oh, this card's damaged. It's no good. But I'd be like, oh, you get this card free with this one. But then I was selling cards like crazy. I was like, oh, wow, this is going really good. It's because everybody's getting like a free LP, like Chansey holo or something,
Yeah.
You know, like it's funny. So then I started like looking at YouTube and seeing like, hey, what's going on? And then like fell down the rabbit hole, found like you, Nick, Dan, everything, started watching, started like really like studying and taking it like, I don't want to like say serious, but I was very intrigued by it. I'm like, man, these guys are really like making some moves here, and they're sounding like they make a lot of sense, and they sound very like organized, structured, and all this stuff. So it was just kind of intrigued me more and more and more as far as like being older, still loving Pokemon and maneuvering to a business with it. So I was like, wow, you know. So I just kept watching, and then I finally went to my first Collecticon, and I met everybody, and everything's just kind of snowballed from there. And like skipping a lot, but like long story short, I go from there and now I'm on eBay Live. And it's awesome. It's amazing. I'm continuing to learn from every stream. I'm learning, you know, about the audience. I'm learning about the stream. I'm learning how to stream better. I'm learning how to still make it fun and not really take losses and still have like a give and take in stream. It's a good balance. I feel like the stream that I have right now is a good balance of give and take. They win, I win. The best part of my stream, I think, right now is like I really like the group and like the core audience that's there all the time, and the new people coming in seem to like see the vibe, catch the vibe, fit the vibe, and kind of fall in. If anything gets like rowdy, I'm pretty good about like nipping it right away, or like keeping it structured a certain way. But yeah, so it's kind of just snowballed into this big thing, and then I've just been kind of running with it since. But yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I think the first time I met you, I don't even think I really knew who you were, but you introduced yourself to me at Charlotte Collecticon. That might have been the first one that you went to. And then I think I followed you on Instagram, or I saw a post that you made, and it said you like pinned either the town I live in or Raleigh. And then I immediately messaged you and I was like, wait, are you in Raleigh?
Yeah.
You like right here? Yeah. And then we figured out we live like 10 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
So we've hung out a few times. Obviously we partner now in some Pokemon stuff. And yeah, it was just a funny coincidence of like, yeah, just, I don't know. It just kind of happened.
It is. I remember finding out like the card shop messaging and seeing like the card shop that you're kind of had your setup in, and I'm like, holy moly. I remember saying like, man, that's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes from here. I'm gonna go. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see. And then I get like quiet and shy introvert, so I think when I went in there that day I didn't even say nothing, and then I just had like my job book back on, and you're like, hey. And I was like, yeah.
I think I said something like, well, you're PokeChef for the chef guy or whatever.
Yeah. I would have never said nothing if you didn't say it.
Oh man. Yeah, it's pretty awesome that I don't know. It's awesome to find people who actually live close who are willing to like hang out and do stuff. We have a couple other people that have been helping you out with your stream, selling you stuff and consigning stuff and all sorts of fun stuff that we just met through either the shows or the different Discords we're in, and so it's fun to find those local people for sure. They're also a chef, an executive chef partner. Did I get that right?
Executive chef partner. Yep.
How did you go from Miami kid to executive chef partner at one of the larger steakhouses in the United States?
I really had no choice. I have a little bit of a rough background, but it's not like the worst, and I'm not like a victim guy.
You should just see his graduation photo and you'll understand.
Yeah, exactly. Product of my environment. All right. But when I was 14, I was kind of living on my own, and just kind of like left alone a lot. So I got a job. I was working a full-time job, and I was a dishwasher making like $5.25 an hour. I think that was like the minimum wage then. And that also same thing kind of snowballed from there. I don't come from a family of like college and like all this. It's all like everybody kind of had kids young and started a business and tried, just kind of made things work. So when I was 14, I got the dishwashing job. One day there was only 2 cooks. One day they both got mad and they walked out. And then it was just like me and this other lady there. And I was like, well, I can do it. I know I know the menu because I used to hang out with them. I would say instead of like doing nothing, I'd go like see what the cooks are doing. Like, what are you guys up to? And I ended up learning how to make everything. So when they walked out, I was like, oh, I can do it. And then
what kind of a restaurant were you in at first?
It was a barbecue restaurant.
Okay. Cool.
So the owners really had no choice. So like some 14-year-old kid who's definitely not legally allowed to do that was doing it. And then I was consistently doing it. And then it was a crazy place. Like everybody who was left who worked there was on a work release program from prison. So they have to have at least one day off. So these people were forced to give me keys to the restaurant when I was 14. So I'd get off my school bus one day during the regular week and I'd open the restaurant at like 5:00 and I would do that. And then that place obviously shut down. And then the lady who was there on work release, one of the ladies got me a job at this other place that was full of people on work release from prisons. So I was like, me and like 2 other guys were the only people not from prison or whatever in there. So I got paid under the table doing that job till I was 18 years old. And then from 18, I started going to like the commercial kitchens, like on the board of Chili's and all that stuff. And, that's not it. And then I wanted to do more. I really never cared about cooking. I was just always really, really good at it and just understood it. And then being 14, home alone, like nobody in my family cooks. Nobody really knows how to cook. So I got tired of like just not having like, I'm watching Family Matters and Fresh Prince and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, these families are so nice. And they have like all these home cooked meals and stuff. So like, I wanted that. I wanted like home cooked meals and stuff. And then I used to just go to like my friends' houses around dinner time and hope that their parents would like ask me to stay for dinner and stuff. And that's like what I was doing, man. So, but I ended up like messing with food, learning how to cook food. Then I went to the jobs and all that stuff. Then I went to like Chili's on the border. And then I was getting older and I'm like, well, this ain't it. And then what I wanted to do, the people who were my friends and the things that I grew up around the time, not a lot of things that they were doing were illegal, and that's not sustainable and that's not okay. And I'm not built for that at all. So I was very lucky to have those people around me also identify like, hey, you're a good dude. You're not like us. You're not like with all this stuff. So they like kept me out of everything. So now I forgot where I was going with that, but I guess bringing it back to the restaurant, I started having kids young, and I had to play my hand. Like, I'm not gonna have my son or daughter like grow up how I grew up or what I grew up around. So I wanted better. So I was in culinary school. I started to do culinary school, taking that serious, just because I didn't know what else to do. And I didn't really have anything. So my dad actually helped me with that. My dad helped me get to culinary school and get me in there. I made all the payments for all that stuff. When I was in there, I networked with chefs. The chefs hooked me up at this really nice restaurant in Weston, Florida. And that was my first like fine dining tweezer restaurant. At the time, I was like I was balling at Chili's, making like $16 an hour. When everybody at that time was like 14 was like the thing, and I was like balling. But I was like traveling, doing all these other Chili's and bouncing around locations, all this stuff. But I ended up taking $12 an hour again to go learn at like this fancy kitchen, and I learned so much. I learned so much from that kitchen. After that, I went and worked for a company called Trulux, and I opened the one in Miami and Brickell, and I trained, there was 2 chefs at the time. I trained both those chefs, and one ran the Brickell location and one ran the Fort Lauderdale location. And then after that, I went and got my first executive chef job, and it was like an Irish pub on the intercoastal of Miami. And that was really cool, but it was another mom and pop. And you got to understand, like, mom and pop restaurants versus corporate restaurants versus even like a tweezer restaurant, like they're vastly different in how they operate, and they're not great, typically the mom and pop restaurants or tweezer restaurants, you learn a lot, but the atmosphere is really, really rough, and the people are really rough, and you have zero job security. So when I was having kids and everything, I wanted like security in that field because that's all I got. So I ended up taking my first executive chef job. That place was like crazy. I have all the crazy stories from that place. The owner was like on cocaine and all that stuff all this time, and it got wild. So after that, I went back to Trulux, and next door to Trulux in Fort Lauderdale was where I've been at the last 13 years. So I was there. Once I got in that place, I was like, whoa, this is 1,000 times better than anything I've ever been in. Any restaurant versus security, atmosphere, the people, the friendliness, how they operate, how they do things. It just felt really good. And I was there, and in 10 months, I worked my way up to sous chef. And then a year and a half after that, I got executive chef partner. And I just always, again, I never really it's crazy to say as like a chef, like my passion is not like a lot of food. Like I'm not crazy about food and anything like that, or I'm not going home. I don't watch Food Network. I don't like a lot of that stuff is not even real to me.
You were almost on Food Network though.
Yeah, a couple times. And I've just always been really good at it, and I've always been really good at managing people and the restaurant and knowing all the jobs of the restaurant. I've worked every job in a restaurant, and it's just something I've always been really good at. But it's never been something that I wanted to do. It's always been something that I had to do.
Yeah.
Even now, like I still, I don't. Me personally, the restaurant industry is really rough, so I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. And it seems like a lot of people who are in the industry just kind of fall into it, like myself. There's not many people who are really wanting to do it. And if you have a passion and your passion is cooking, then you should keep that at home or do something like very small with it. Don't turn it into a restaurant business. It's really rough and it gets dark real fast, But yeah.
I remember getting to, I think in Wisconsin, it was like 15 when you could start working, or 14 or 15 when you could start having like a part-time job.
Yeah.
And when I was looking for places when I was 15, it was like absolutely not going to be a server or a host. Absolutely not going to work in a restaurant. Not going to wash dishes. It was like the one thing, like I will do retail. I will do anything I can to get into a position where I'm not working in a restaurant, because I did not want any part of that. So yeah, definitely commendable on your end to stick with it for so long and make sure that you have enough going on for your family and stuff.
It's a lot. Like there's a lot of fun. It's not so much the job. It's like the people around your job and like holidays, and the job changes when you have kids, when you have wife, when you have everything at home, the job changes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that great. So like where I'm at in my life, so I've been at this job for 13 years or a little bit more. So my son is 13, he's spent his entire life and has never had a holiday with his dad. And that stuff messes me up, man. And the same thing with my daughter. They've done every holiday, never had a holiday, and they're growing up that way. So like my head is spinning about that, and I can't like get over that. And then there's a lot of things like I wish I was home for, but I spent the first half of their life really trying to put them in a position to not go through what I went through, or in the same neighborhoods I went through, or any of that stuff, or kind of the household I went through, anything like that. But now we're to the point where it's like everything's good, everything's stable. Now I'm in a position where I think I could change that, and here we are.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've been working towards this whole time.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot more about all that, the eBay Live and the auctioning and stuff here in a bit. Let me run through and say hi to the chat, everyone that popped in.
Let's do it.
Hi, FOMO. Hello. Welcome. Nick Martinez.
Nick!
I'm seeing a lot of new names, so I'm assuming that you guys
eBay
are
Live,
baby! From Chef's stream.
Let's go. eBay
Alice,
Live chat.
Grimer, BB, Walrus. It was great seeing Chef this weekend. Oh, wait. Walrus giving you shit. BB with the question: which Pokemon's the best Pokemon, and why is it Snorlax?
Amen, BB.
I will say, just another reason for everyone to be mad at Ponga. Ponga this weekend said that Snorlax is, I think he said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and he said B tier and not D tier, but he was not. Yeah, he was all over the place with his takes this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
He's got some interesting takes. I highly disagree. Snorlax is amazing. Charizard's better, but yeah. All right, let's see. If you had to turn one Pokemon into a Michelin star dish, what would you make? Oh, there you go.
Oh, what would I make?
Which Pokemon would you chop up to put in a dish?
It always makes me sad thinking about that. But like to me, the easy answers is like a Magikarp or like a Miltank, because I deal with Miltanks every day.
Or a
Tauros.
Tauros.
A lot. Yeah, Lechonk.
Lechonk, yeah. That's a good one.
I love Lechonk, but that's one of the reasons why I like Lechonk. Every time I look at Lechonk, like no lie, the first thing that pops into my head is like mojo pork or like carnita, or like immediate. Like soon as I see Lechonk, I don't know,
bacon.
Yeah.
That's a good question, Shug. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Old school Pokemon is here.
OSP, the GOAT.
K is here, but assuming I guess that's Paperclip.
Paperclip. What up, Paperclip?
We got Jasm,
Yeah. eBay Live, baby. Got all the eBay Live people in here. Let's
Navi
go.
Station, Grimer,
Navi, let's go.
Chef Live as much as Nick now.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here's a good one, and it kind of coincides with one of my questions.
Yep.
How has working in the customer service industry set you up for success in the Pokemon space?
I think big time. I think there's a lot of things that I've learned with the company that I'm with now. There is a tremendous amount of things that I've learned to navigate life and like how I am with myself or like customer service things and how they operate. One of the things that I like about them the most is how they recover. And it's, I don't know, I think when you treat people like people and when you give them like respect or like, there's always that debate. I think Nick and Dan were debating, does a streamer have a little bit of a responsibility to look out for the buyer and all that stuff? And there's always like, it's business is business is whatever. But I'm on the side that you should kind of protect your buyers and protect your group a little bit, being that person. But as far as working in the customer service industry, I kind of navigate the same way, man. I want them to have a great experience when they come in. I really like, if you're in my stream the whole time, I'm just like, hey man, don't feel obligated to buy. Just have fun, try it out, hang out, man. Hang out. And that's really what I'm about. Like I feel like there's so much craziness in the world. Like we need like little spots where we could just unplug and hang out and have fun and not have to worry. And there's fewer and fewer of those spaces. And then now even with Pokemon, it's, a lot of these streams are money driven. And I don't particularly care for that. So I'm really big on the experience. So like, I want you to have fun. I want you to be excited about mail day. I do spend a little bit more on like packaging because I want it to be like the experience. I have like a nicer box with bubble mailers. I always write a thank you card. Like I want it to be like, hey, I'm opening it. Like I just want it to be like positive fun all the time. But I think I get a lot of that too with the customer service industry. Like I want you to leave happy. If you're not happy, I want to know why. I want to fix it. I want to, what can I do to make sure you're like taken care of? But I think it all directs primarily straight from that, being in the customer service industry.
Yeah, I think it reminds me of one episode of The Bear, to be honest. There's one episode of The Bear where they're based in Chicago and they have a family that's there on vacation and they're eating at the restaurant and the waiter guy overhears them talking about how it was unfortunate they didn't get to go to Lou Malnati's. And there is like a Malnati's down the street. So they send someone to go get some Lou Malnati's to like, kind of fancify and then bring it out to the table and be like, hey, we heard you didn't get to experience Lou Malnati's. Here's the Lou Malnati's. And I feel like that's a lot of what you do on stream is you listen to people, you pay attention to what they want. And then like weeks later, you'll know that Paperclip collects X and you'll have something for them, or you'll go to a show specifically with these people in mind and be like, I need to pick up some Steelix for the Steelix guy. I need to pick up, X for that guy. It's like, you're always, I feel like, thinking about how you can give back to the people who are in stream all the time. I feel like that's
that's true. I am trying, like when I'm buying, I do have like the buyers in mind and what they like. Sometimes it gets a little too specific. So if you get too specific, you got like only the one person likes it. So nobody really bids. And then again, everything on the stream that I build, like I just like everybody to be nice and stuff. And so like when everybody knows the one person wants the one thing, everybody's, let them have it, and then that's cool. It's cool for the kindness, but you can't be like too specific, because then it just gets one-sided and nobody wants to watch a stream that's just like one person all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I do that. I do try to like cater it and see what they like, but a lot of that stuff makes it a lot fun for me. Like right now we're a lot of this stuff. I'll do like bundles, but a lot of them lately are like artist driven. And I really like that. I'm like really getting into like seeing specific artists, only their cards, and like grouping those up. And it's been very fun to kind of see on stream other people who like specific artists picking up those cards or this cards or didn't knew they drew this one or something. So that's a very cool thing that's been going on too in the streams.
Yeah. It is super awesome how you can. I know you have somebody in there who really likes Yukamori.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll
Hannah, shout out to Hannah.
Yeah.
Yukamori and fairy types.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's a bag for Hannah.
There you go. Yeah, it's definitely cool. And I just, man, I know people are like, oh, the art has never been better in Pokemon. And I think those people just see the art on 100% of the card instead of 33% of the card. And they think art's better if there's more art on the card. Some of the older arts are just so freaking incredible. And if you took those older arts and you expanded them to the full card, people would be saying, oh my God, they're the most amazing cards in the world.
I agree.
Yeah, some of the old stuff is just so cool. And to be honest, it's kind of cool because your stream tends to like a lot of the older stuff and the mid-era stuff and the niche stuff. And that's pretty awesome that they're into that type of stuff.
Yep.
All right. Question for Grimer. How do you maintain such a positive attitude and energy?
I think that's also the restaurant being in charge. I can't lose it with anybody. I gotta keep my composure and I gotta be professional and get through it. On the lives and anything Pokemon, it's actually kind of easy because this is like Pokemon and all and eBay. This is probably like the number one thing I'm passionate about. Like Charlie Herlocker said, there's nothing really I like more than Pokemon. That's kind of like how I am. I'm the same way. Like there's nothing I really am like more intrigued by with Pokemon, but it's everything. It's not like the cards. It's like cards, art, business, the IP, like just all of it as a whole just really just blows me away. So with Pokemon, it's super easy. With Chef Life, it is not easy. And if you've ever seen me in the restaurant, I am not very happy. I'm very like focused business. And like when I'm there, I'm crossing T's, I'm dotting I's because the second you don't, everything falls. And if I'm upset in the restaurant, I've never been a chef that screams. I don't scream. I don't like that. I've had chefs scream at me. I've had managers scream at me. I've had like stuff in the past in my face scream. Like I don't like that. I don't think you should treat another human being like that. So I don't do that. So when I'm upset, I just get quiet. I'll get through the shift. I'll give direction. Hey, I need this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Or I'll remove the problem and do it myself or something like that. Once I'm done being angry, then I can talk about it and give direction or something like that. But I cannot talk about it when I'm angry because I'll just explode.
Yeah.
So I just take a breather. I get through whatever the situation is and I do it. But with Pokemon, no problem. And the worst thing that happens is like you got some clown in the chat typing a bunch of crazy, and then you're like, all right, like get out of here.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Hive Mind, what's up?
Hive, what up?
Philip, what's up?
What up?
Wonder. Hope your back's feeling better, man. I hope you're doing good. It was nice seeing you this weekend. We'll have to get out to Charlotte sometime soon for sure. What's up, Danny Zard? What's up, Drew?
Number one mod.
All right, BB's got another question.
Ooh, keep them coming.
What skills are you hoping to improve the most in 2025 as it relates to running your Pokemon business? What is one thing you're hoping to outsource?
Well, I just did taxes, right? So I learned. But getting more serious about bookkeeping and like tracking stuff. Taxes was like really good. It was really cool to see like, okay, moving forward, I need to just kind of pivot this way and do that. So I really enjoyed seeing that. I wish I could have talked to somebody who can answer more of my questions. So I was a little bit frustrated with that part because I feel like there's a little bit more to know. But I was talking to you also like a little bit before the stream, like just kind of like honing down on like what works, what doesn't work, keeping track of numbers and stuff for taxes and like really structuring myself like a proper, very professional business with everything on hand, ready to go at any moment's time, all the data there. So getting like a system and routine in place to like keep those things current all the time. That's what I want to do. That's kind of what I'm focusing on right now. And then the thing that I want to outsource is I'm kind of already doing that. I want to outsource packing a little bit, which is no surprise to somebody who streams. And I think I might have a solution for that. So if that goes well, then I will definitely stream more. It's kind of, I kind of got the idea. I think it was Nick's live or something when you guys were talking about bid. And it was like the idea of just taking a box and like giving it to somebody and shipping it all or something like that. So I was like doing that essentially. And hopefully I'll be able to get my grandfather to do it because he seems very interested and he's a very clever guy. And I think he would be, I really do think he'd be awesome at it. So hopefully we could get that going, but it kind of stings because that's the one thing like I'm getting really fast and efficient at. So it's like a little bit less of a problem as they used to be, but still like it would help tremendously if I could just like stream. If I can live in the castle like Nick does and stream from his throne and then just dump it all on a walrus.
There you go. I'm trying to get my grandma to learn how to pre-grade. You're trying to get your grandpa to ship for you. There you go. We utilize all the family members around here. Thrifty, how's it going? Nice seeing you this weekend. Galaxy, what up? Navi Station, I might have said hi already. I'm not sure. Potentially. Let's see. What was our first experience with Pokemon? What's your earliest experience that you can think of with Pokemon?
I remember ripping like base set packs and seeing like my friend showing me like his Charizards and stuff like that, like Charizard and all that base set. My favorite, I guess my first like real like awesome memory. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things in the whole hobby as far as like my memory, my experience is that same friend who introduced me to Pokemon. We camped outside of a Toys R Us for the Mew promo. That everybody, the WotC Black Star Mew promo, you know, nice. Camping outside of Toys R Us for that, and then doing the tournament that day after that, and then I'll never forget the gym leaders. Their names was Raysol and Juan. I'll never forget that, and they ended up hooking me and my friend up with like a stack of them. And then I forget how we got the hollow one. There's a hollow one too, and I think you had to win or you had to do something, but we got those too. But we were very like we were awesome at the tournaments back then, doing it in like Pokemon or the Toys R Us ones or whatever. I have all like the little badges. Yeah,
nice. That's awesome.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite, or at least first experience that I remember. Kind of, you know that.
Yeah, I think my first experience with Pokemon was I think the year that it came out. My grandpa visited us around Christmas time, and he bought me and my brother both a red Game Boy Pocket and a green Game Boy Pocket. I got the red one. My brother got the green one. And then Pokemon Red and Blue. And because of my Game Boy was red, I had to get red. And my brother got blue. And yeah, we just played so much Pokemon. Like just an insane... Because we were... I think that was like the only game that I had on my Game Boy. Like whenever we got video game systems, we would get like a few games that my brother and I could play together. But we didn't get every new game that we wanted. We would like... potentially rent it from the video game, you know, from the movie store, but we weren't going to we didn't have like large libraries of games to play. So when we got Pokemon, that was like, we replayed every version of Pokemon we possibly could. Yeah, because that was like
a lot. Blue and Yellow, I played like it's essentially the same game, but that's one of my all-time favorite games. I probably beat Blue, Yellow, or Let's Go Pikachu. Like I probably beat that game more than any other game. I play that. I like pick up that all the time, or I'll pick up like Super Mario 3 or Super Mario World, like the Super Nintendo one. Those are like the three games that I'm just like anytime, all time. Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Is he talking about your calves?
Yeah, because I have like fun fact, I have very big calves. Very, very large calves for some reason. Nobody knows, but they're ridiculous.
Well, probably being on your feet and walking around all day, every day. That's probably part of it. Oh, let's see. Oh, here we go. What was my cat's head is in the way. Okay, I guess I'll read it over here. What was the hardest part about turning this hobby into a business, and where did you start?
the hardest part is I love the cards so much, so selling them all the time, or like when you buy a collection, it's always like you want to keep the one or two or five or 10. So
Yeah.
it's that sometimes like I'll sell a card, I'll be like, oh, I wish I would have kept that one, or I wish I could have kept that one, or something like that. So it's that's I would say this is the hardest because I'm also still like so much of a fan of everything. Like I was talking the other day, I want like the Zacian PSA 10 Hopzation, and I want all the like the Terra Fest evolutions and things like that, and tens, and so like that part where like I have to separate that, but I do a pretty good job. I'm pretty good about that now, and I'm pretty good about like not ripping packs. I don't do any of that or anything like that. So like really focusing, but again, that kind of changes on its own. Because once you start putting your money in it, it's different, right? Once you start putting money to sell it, like it very much changes. so that helps with that. But where did I start? I started just listing stuff on eBay. I started listing things on eBay and letting them sell, or seeing how like you guys list and trying to see what I can learn and pick up, and seeing, this ain't gonna do nothing unless you got volume,
Yeah.
and you're listing a card, you're going, okay, you got 10 cards up, okay, and it's just catching on to what's really working and what's not. But I started listing on eBay, and it snowballed from there.
Yeah. What was the hardest part about turning this hobby into business? I would say the hardest part is probably the amount of time it takes to get the knowledge to be successful, to understand what to buy, when to buy it, when to grade stuff, when to sell it raw, just like all that stuff you learn from doing, that it takes years to develop. It just takes there's a big barrier of entry, I feel like, from starting to actually getting good at it. And then where do you start? The way that I started, well, the first thing I did was horrible. I started opening packs to try and make money, which is a horrible decision because I didn't have any of the knowledge. But then I started watching all these different people who were very successful in Pokemon and starting to get that knowledge. But it took a long time for that to happen. And then once that happened, the very first thing I did, I went through every era. I went to all these different ranking sites, and I listed out the top 20 most popular Pokemon from every era, and then told myself those are the Pokemon I'm going to buy, because I'm not going to buy Pokemon that are just going to sit around and whatever, that nobody wants. I'm going to focus on the most popular Pokemon because I feel like that's where the liquidity is going to be. And that's what I started with. So, and I still use that mentality when I'm buying stuff, but that's the first thing I did.
The other thing is a lot of people like look to YouTube or people making content for all the answers, or like, hey, how do I get rich? Just tell me now. Tell me what you do, and it's not like that. It's not like that at all. It's almost the same. Like I say it all the time. There's so much relevance between kitchen and chef and Pokemon and selling and all that stuff. And just people don't see it. But like, I can give you recipes, I can give you all this stuff, but it doesn't mean you can cook. You have to like do it. You have to start doing it for you to really like understand, or have like some money in the game to really understand. Oh, okay, and then you start figuring it out. And that's kind of what I do. I mean, I watch the same YouTube everybody watches, but it wasn't until I started putting my own money in and making my own decisions and stuff like that, and seeing what works, what doesn't work, and being aware and like pivoting. That's what does it, and being smart about things, or ahead of things or things like that. But it's not, you can't just like get the answers from some YouTuber or something like that. And I can't stand when like that's the perspective, it just doesn't sound realistic.
It's hard because it sounds gatekeepy, because I've been asked, when I used to do the full breakdowns of my Excel sheet of like all my sales, and I used to go through every sale and what worked and what didn't. I used to get asked constantly on all those videos, can I buy your spreadsheet? Like, can I buy a template of your spreadsheet? Can you send me the template of your spreadsheet? And I would always say no, because I'm like, you should learn, like, this is basic. There's nothing special about this spreadsheet. It doesn't scrape data from anywhere. It doesn't do any coding. It doesn't do anything. It's literal, like, easy ass functions. And you should learn how to build that, because that is, just that basic knowledge of Sheets or Excel is going to be super helpful with your business. If I just give you this template, you're not going to be able to know how to edit the template or anything like that. You should learn a little bit about the program that you're going to be using to track your stuff instead of just buying it off of somebody else. Yeah. And it sounds gatekeepy and kind of shitty to be like, no, I'm not going to help you in that way. But I honestly think I feel like I'm helping more by saying you should build this. And then hopefully they actually go and build it and learn something about the
you're
software.
Just going to run into like another step where it's like, hey, show me this too. And then show me the next thing. And then show me the next thing. But it's like, if you're the one actually doing it, you're going to learn a lot faster and be better at it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
At least that's my opinion.
Yeah. Folgers, best coffee
Folgers.
out there. Oh man. Let's see. For super specific, why not set the starting price higher to at least break even, or set as buy it now like a pack?
No, I guess he's talking about like auctions, doing the live auctions or anything. There's streamers who do that. They'll like start an auction at $10, $50 or anything or stuff like that. But I don't like doing that. I think that's kind of loses the point of the auction. If I'm going to start the price at something, I'd rather just buy it now and just like list it or something like that. I like the auction. I think it's part of the entertainment of it. And I also think it gives the opportunity for both of us, for seller and buyer, to have somebody's going to win, right? Somebody's going to win. Yeah. So I think it gives like a good opportunity, but I just think it's part of that full experience. When again, that goes back to like, I'm just trying to make the experience. I'm not really, I don't want to sit here and nickel and dime or anything like that. So I'm responsible, and then I know what I'm getting into. I know what I signed up for when I started that card at $1, and then I will manage that loss if I lose or anything else. So that's kind of how I feel about it. And nothing against anybody who starts anything at a specific price or whatever. Like, I get it, but for me specifically, that's how that's like my mindset and how I'm operating.
Yeah, I agree. I want to feel like even if I end up spending close to, what they started the auction at, I still want to feel like I have the chance at getting a deal. And if you start your auction at what you'd like to sell it for, then you're not there. There isn't
like a balloon. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no chance at a deal. It's just like, oh, whatever.
It's like, all right, we're just gonna sell it for normal money.
Ain't no rip like a PokeChef rip.
That's right. Jazz. Let's go. Yo, Jazz, that guy, you should see what he rips. It's crazy. Every time he buys him, his whole family will be there. It'll be him, his wife, his dad, his mom, everybody. It's so much fun. But it's so fun when they're all in there together. Papa Rob, shout out to Papa Rob. We talk about Papa Rob all the time at Paperclip and Mint Wolf and like all it. Like, it's so much fun. I love like the group we have. But Jazz, when he buys in, dude, he bought I always talk about, I think I have it on the stream. He bought a 5-pack lot, hit the Charizard, Brilliant Stars, hit the Charizard, bought 1-box Super Electric Breaker, hit the Pikachu, back to back. And then every time he's like always hits. I just ripped packs for Papa Rob. He pulled the Venusaur 151 right away. It's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I have so much fun with like that group. They're like little family in there and stuff, but I love it. I have a lot of fun in the lives. I really do. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. What happened in Chicago? Wonder hurt his back. Bierski hurt his shoulder. Bierski hurt his shoulder?
I think olds.
I think Wonder's back was hurting before he got there. I didn't know Bierski's knee literally gave out. He was just walking across the kitchen, and all of a sudden you see him stumble, and he can't step on his leg anymore because his knee literally buckled and gave out from underneath him. Bierski's getting old. If anyone's getting old, Bierski's getting old.
Mason City, bunch of olds.
Chef, tell the public the truth. A great way to piss off the kitchen is putting in a special request.
No, I'll let me talk about that real quick. Hold on. I don't mind the request. However, when you complain about the request after we've accommodated it, that's when I get upset because, hey, it's Saturday night, 7:00. I got 500 people here. You want a vegan something. I'm at a steakhouse. I'm very limited. I make something. It goes out and you're like, What right now? The other part of that is you're playing telephone. The person ordering has a vision for what they want. They tell that to the server. The server, not a clue what's going on with that vision. They can't even keep their section together, right? So like they take that vision and they're like, I don't know, he's hungry, he wants this. They're like, all right. So then chefs, we have to take that information and make a miracle happen in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So then we do that in the middle of everything we got going on for someone to be like, So then that's where I get upset, where it's like, hey, we're trying to do it here. Put us some slack. However, we do try to make the best thing possible all the time. But there is times where like it just doesn't meet the vision of the one person telling the one person telling the third person, and then I'm telling the cook who's making it. You know what I mean? So you got 4 visions. You got 4 visions for some random thing we're supposed to whip together in 20 minutes with no ingredients. Like come on. So then that's where it's like, hey. I hope that was good for Pool Father and Felipe right here.
You're getting old, Mason. I hurt my knee just watching the stream tonight. Well, I'm sorry about that. All right. Walrus is wondering what you have planned for a 1-year stream. Are we hyping it yet?
Yes. So I am going to run a lot of like high-end chase cards, all this. I'm going to kind of do all the bells and whistles for the 1-year stream. It's going to be, I think August 31st is my 1 year.
Okay.
So,
a few months.
Yep. So ideally, I would love like if people came for the stream. So I was trying to get like Nick, Walrus, you or whoever like to come for the 1-year anniversary stream. And then I've also teased the idea that I might do another cooking stream on the 1-year anniversary if I have everybody here to make it more fun and run like some high end. Like if maybe Nick and Walrus and everybody ran like some high end stuff and I'm cooking and doing all this stuff. That would be a lot of fun. So I did a cooking stream and auction off cards with you and Beerski, and people as recent as yesterday still ask to do another one of those. They want that so bad. And it was a lot of fun, and it went very well. And I think also I think I'm the only and first streamer to ever do that, like auction off cards and do like a full course meal and everything, like do all that. So it's just really cool.
If you're feeding me, I guess I could help out.
Yeah, you probably eaten the most food that I've cooked out of everybody.
I guess I could help.
Always happen to be there.
Hey, if I hear chefs cooking, I'm making a point to be there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about I might want to do something like that. But yeah, I want to run like some chase cards, some like crazies, $500 slabs, $300 slabs, booster box. I want to do something like that. I want to do basically I want to do a normal Nick stream on my anniversary stream.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting one. We talk all the time about why people don't open an LGS.
That's a great question.
What are barriers stopping you from opening a restaurant?
I will tell you. So where I'm at in my career, I get taken care of very well. If I wanted to open up my own place, it's all my own money. Everything's in it. I'm living there. I'm working 90 hours. And I'm coming up maybe with half that amount, maybe until like 6 years later, 10 years later. And then I can get to where I'm at now. I don't want to do that. The other part is like, it's all your money. It's all your money. Every plate that breaks, every person that's, doesn't show up and you got to come in. It's all your money, all your time. When you open a restaurant, you live there. And if you're not living there the first year, you're going to fail. And then the percentages, we all know the percentages of restaurants is like the first year, it's like a 60% fail rate or something like that, whatever the percentages are. But within 5 years, you have an 80% fail rate. So it's like it's not like a great business idea on paper. However, you can make them work. I think if I opened one, I would definitely be okay and successful, but I don't want to invest the time or the money in that. I really don't. I would rather do something like on the side, like almost make it in a hobby and like make cooking fun for me again. Like do the food truck thing and pull up, collect the cons. Hey, we're doing slabs and slabs. We joke about that with Dan, slabs and slabs food truck,
Yeah.
And doing something like that and whipping like something together. Or like when I cooked at Wonders or stuff like that, that's when it's fun. But when you do it for a job, it's not fun and it's very time consuming. And then as you get older and you get family and all that stuff, like it just takes everything out of you. But when you're opening up your own restaurant again, you're living there. There's a lot of like look at all like the Michelin star chefs and stuff and watch their documentaries. Their entire day of every day of their life, it's involved in that restaurant. And it's terrible. A lot of them build like bedrooms in their restaurant or like a little mini like studio apartment in their restaurant because they're there. And it's just crazy. It's just, I don't know. It's just not like, again, it's not like a great industry. And there's a lot of like toxic elements to it. And it's very unhealthy, like physically, mentally. So there's no sign of it like really changing or shaping up. So it's not like I would go deeper into it at all.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. There goes the coffee house idea that we had when we were.
But that's little. I could do coffee and like pastries and stuff, you know.
Yeah, breakfast sandwiches, coffee, sling some cards on the side. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of a 5-course meal, if you had to put together a plate, like a green, a side, and a protein.
I'm still
using purely Pokemon.
I'm still going with Lechonk or Miltank for protein. For for a side, I don't know. What's for a side? What can I do for a side?
I don't think there's a potato Pokemon.
There's not really a potato Pokemon.
Not yet.
But it's like, I wonder if like certain things, like what does the Tangela taste like? There's all that you can maybe make it crispy or something, you know, like
they have that
there's all these options.
They have that new Pokemon that's like red and green peppers.
Oh yeah, there you go, right there. I would want to do something with like the Bulbasaur lettuce.
Oh yeah, the bulb. Yeah,
that could be like the starter, the side starter on the starter.
Okay, okay, I like it. Let's see. What up, Sean Paul?
Sean Paul with a bang bang, hit another eBay live guy. What up? That guy's hilarious.
I was like, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, Sean Paul with a bang bang. I never say his name without it.
Best regional cuisine, best international cuisine. Oh shit.
Regional, I like I really like soul food barbecue, like smoked foods, like that just hits the corazon. Hits right here in the heart, right there, big time. And then international food, like Mexican food. Come on, I can eat tacos, tortas every day of my life, like hands down. Sign me up. Or like Cuban food, the Miami stuff. Sign me up. That was like one of the biggest culture shocks coming from Miami, South Florida, and moving to North Carolina. That's like a big difference, man. That's huge, and I was not ready for that. So it's like, whoa. But even when I tried to like cook or make specials in the restaurant. It's like I remember doing like it was like a coconut rice on a seared grouper, I think I did, with like a red pepper coulis, chive oil, mango salsa, crispy sweet potato right on top. Like it was really pretty and very nice. And like I like bright colors, I like citrus, I like fresh, kind of light because you're in Miami and all this stuff. But when I was trying to do all that stuff in North Carolina. No. They like North Carolina wants meat, potatoes. They want biscuits, gravy. They want want that. They don't want the razzle dazzle, the light stuff, the bright stuff. They don't. It's very like
don't make it too spicy and definitely make it too salty.
So I love everything with a spice. Yeah. I love spicy food. I like a little kick with everything. And there is like zero spice. You can have no spice here. It's like very opposite. So I think that's another reason why, or another thing that kind of shoots my morale a little bit in the restaurant, because I can't like do the stuff I want to do because it doesn't translate well. I remember bringing stone crabs to North Carolina, and I didn't know how popular stone crabs were just in South Florida. I thought it was like everywhere, because I ran restaurants and you'd sell out. You would buy like 500 pounds or do like an all you can eat stone crabs of all these sizes. And I remember being in like Trulux in a room for like 9 hours just cracking stone crabs and us selling every one of them, you know. And then stone crabs just flew all the time. When I brought them to North Carolina, people were like, what is that? And I'm like, man. So it's like anytime I try to do something, I have to do like a huge education and train the servers and try to train the guests a little bit. And like, man, but it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, one of my favorite dishes in the area. I don't know if you've been to Gonza.
Oh yeah, I've been to Gonza.
Yeah. So there's a dish there. It's called the Mexican flag, and it's 3 enchiladas, and it has a red sauce, a green sauce, and a crema sauce.
Yeah.
And the red sauce used to be like spicy because you have the crema sauce to cool it down, and because they have all the flavors mixed together.
Yeah.
And we went back fairly recently, and it wasn't that spicy. And I was like, why isn't this that spicy? And they said they had to change the spice level because people would complain about it being too spicy.
Bad. That breaks my heart.
So annoying because
that breaks my heart.
It was one of my favorite dishes.
That breaks my heart.
Best regional cuisine. I would agree, either soul food or like, I feel like you get a lot of soul food stuff with barbecue. So maybe like Texas barbecue, like Southern barbecue, where it's like kind of a ketchup based sauce and then mac and cheese and cornbread and all that stuff. Yeah, so good. Gimme. And then international, I really like Korean food. I think Korean food's awesome.
Dope.
Really like that. Let's see. What Pokemon do you relate to the most?
I think that's why I like Snorlax a lot. It wasn't until I got older that I like really leaned into Snorlax. And then I was like, man, this guy's like, he's either what I want to do or what I am. So he's very alone, and I'm very introvert outside. Yeah. So he's very alone. And then he's got Eevee, which is kind of like relates to like my daughter. Eevee's, my daughter's always with me. And then he's just a good dude living in his own little bubble. And then if you make him mad, he handles business, like whatever. All right. But he's just like a good guy, just like doing his thing, eating food. Then he's chefing it up. He's like, I don't know. I just really like Snorlax. He's just like, good vibes, man. Just a good dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, mine would be slacking. Because all I like to do is lay on the couch, throw a movie on, cuddle with the cats, and that's my afternoon. Like, I don't want to do anything other than that. I'll be slacking. Let's see. Oddish salad. There you go. Oddish leaves.
Oh, there you go. Oddish.
Tasugiri sushi. Oh, yeah. Little sushi Pokemon.
Yeah.
What's up, Professor Oak?
What up, man? I miss you.
Are what my passion fulfilled most as the pastry chef role.
Yes. But that's like my point exactly. Like, I like the colors. I like the textures. I like all that. Like, man, that's the stuff that I like.
You have to come down to South Texas if you want some good Mexican food. I feel like there's like pockets around the United States that have like really good Mexican food.
Austin,
North Carolina, I don't think is one of them.
One of the best food I've ever had. What'd you say?
I said North Carolina is not one of them.
No. It's so, dude, I'm telling you, fish out of water from Miami to here. It's like, it's so different.
California has variety. Yeah. If I can claim all the Mediterranean, it's a snap. Oh god, Java would relate to Ice Cube very well. Cool as a cucumber, but when he starts talking about tag, his head melts and he starts spinning. Okay, dude. Oh man. All right, we are caught up with questions. So if you guys have anything, make sure to put it in the chat. But I've got some more for you.
Yeah,
over here.
Keep all the questions coming.
If you could go back and give yourself advice when you first started streaming that would make streaming better from the get-go, what would it be?
I would say if I was starting again and I wanted to go back, make a change, I would say take like a week or something off and get muscle memory down. I wish also maybe I could have took a week off and like shadowed somebody a little bit more, like conventions and stuff like that. It would have kind of streamlined that little growth a little bit faster. But I wish I guess muscle memory, because a lot of times since I don't stream as frequent as I would like, I get like jumbled up, and then I'm very high energy. And when I go to do the stream, I'm like so excited. It's like what I've been waiting for all week. Like I really want to stream. So then I'm like, oh, I'm here. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm shuffling cards. I'm doing this. So I just want to like muscle memory slow down, almost like a kitchen station, and be able to like kind of do whatever and grab and have like, I don't think I ever, I think I'm still working on that. I think I'm still trying to like get consistency down as far as the motions when I open a pack or when I'm doing pack ripping for people. I think I'm always doing it a little bit different, and I'm trying to get it more of like the same way every time. Again, I'm definitely getting better, but that's stuff that I look at behind the scenes that I'm trying to always work on or wish I would have done at the beginning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Don't want to be fumbling around yourself when you have to be. Yeah, it's almost like a line station where you get something in. Stop trying to hit me. Damn cat's trying to kill me. I keep putting my hand over there. She's like slapping it. No, yeah. So yeah, just almost like a conveyor belt. Get the card, put it there, write on it, put it there, and just like get that going so you can get in a groove.
Yeah, I wish I like wrote in the same spot on the card every time, wrote the number in the same spot every time, and like had it uniformed like that, which I will get to because chef brain, like consistency and like the same thing, same place every time, that's like burnt into my brain. So I will get there. I just need like a week or like a consistent something to really get like something really down, and then I'm good.
Yeah. Cooley has one. Interesting. If each job in your kitchen restaurant was a gym badge, what order and type would they be? Who would be the Elite Four?
The Elite Four
would be position in the restaurant.
The Elite Four would be the dish guys, man. They're the true champions of every restaurant. They get rocked, man. They get rocked. They're typically not paid the best. They have the most important job in the restaurant, I think. It's always like the roughest I guess hiring pool or talent pool. So it's really challenging. But those are like the true unsung heroes. And then for me, it would be like working your way up to broil, like butcher then broil. So you'd start out low in the badges, and you'd go like pantry, then you'd go to like a fry station or something, then you go to saute, butcher, and then maybe like a broiling station, and then it's like chefs and all that stuff. But definitely like, again, shout out the dishwasher guys, because those guys are the real truth back there.
Nice. Got to do the thing.
I got Java. All right, so on eBay Live, every time we pull Sprigatito, I go Sprigatito. So I did that pretty much every time. There's a running joke that I'm very animated during the stream, so there's a lot of like sound effects I'll do. But we've made it a joke that I need my own like soundboard. But if we do get my own soundboard, I'm just gonna record me doing all the sounds again, anyways. And we'll just that. But I'm always doing stuff. Yeah, every time I pull a card, I'm like, and then Papa Rob, we joke about his scooter days, so I'm always like, Papa Rob, it's a little scooter horn. Yeah.
No, my cat's name is Mika, not Sprigatito. But yes, I figured he asked so that you do the thing. Let's see. You're so upbeat and happy all the time. I need you to complain about something. What are your least favorite parts of streaming?
Oh, least favorite parts of streaming. I don't like so my time is very limited. So it stinks when I'm like when I still have to pack orders after the time has passed. So like eBay gives you 4 days to pay, but I only have like the 1 day off or like the one window of time to pack the orders. So if those people don't pay at that one time, then it kind of jams me up the rest of the week. So it stinks when I work like a 14-hour day and have to come home and pack like some orders when I had all the time to do it on the 1 day. Yeah. So that's one thing that it's like, it's not like the biggest whatever, but it's still like, man, you're so defeated. After that day, you just want to kind of just be done, and it's like, man, I still got to do this, and get it out to make sure it's shipped in the 1 day. That and like, what else that makes me mad about streaming? I don't like it. There's like somebody goofing around, like a knucklehead coming in chat and like messing everything up or like being rude or nasty or something or being inappropriate. It's funny because like I'm the chef and I speak kitchen very fluently and I'm a kitchen guy and all that stuff. But on stream, And in the stream, I keep it very PG, which is so surprising that like the one chef on stream is like the cleanest probably out of everybody. And then I'll nip it when it's not. But I feel like that stems from like one wanting to create like a good positive atmosphere, but it also enables anybody of any age that can jump in and kind of have fun, or the people that are my age who share the hobby with their families, that they can jump in, have fun, or watch a replay or like do something like that. But yeah, that's like kind of the reason why I keep it like that. But yeah, I don't like when somebody goes in there and like starts acting crazy. Like I can handle it no problem, but I like freak out for, you know, who's watching or whatever. But
yeah.
But it is funny, like the one chef. Yeah, I won't like curse or anything. Like, you know, it's hilarious because again, kitchen guy here.
Yeah. I think it makes it. I think sometimes the streaming services are pretty strict on their stuff too. Like the fact that you guys can't drink on stream is pretty ridiculous to me. As long as you're not getting like super drunk, like obviously drunk. Like if you're just having a drink, like it's a little crazy. But I understand that they want to keep people from getting too drunk and being, you know, crazy on stream. They do seem to have pretty strict regulations as well. So if, you know, it's not Whatnot, all right. You can't talk. You can't talk
West
like scary stuff. Not scary stuff, but extremely inappropriate stuff, and just get away with it like you can on Whatnot. So, yeah, this is an interesting question. I've thought about this a lot actually. I've mentioned it to Chef before, but I don't know. When are you and Java going to suck it up and at least get an office together to use as a stream ship eBay store office? So I 1000% would look into something like this if I thought that they were that it would be monetarily advantageous. I think the one thing that definitely would make it advantageous is we've been discussing, and I don't know if it's actually going to be a thing. We still have to, you know, figure all this stuff out. But if we were both to stream, it would be helpful to have all the inventory in one place, all the packing supplies in one place, everything, because then if Chef can't pack on a Monday, then I can go pack on a Monday, or, you know, that type of stuff, instead of it being in one of our two houses where things are a lot more, you know, private. I'm sure Chef's son would love if Chef was streaming from an office because Chef is a loud guy. And well, especially when you're doing your night streams, probably not anymore, but when you were going to like 3 a.m.
screaming right into his room.
So yeah, there are definitely advantages to being able to do that, having all the inventory in one space, not having to, you know, go back and forth, and having a little business space. It would be very cool, but it's just like, can you justify the cost essentially? But to be honest, I haven't really looked into it all that much. In my head, I feel like it would be really expensive, to the point where I've thought like it'd probably be cheaper to get a apartment instead, where you had like a kitchen and a bathroom and you had those things, and it wasn't just like a single office type of thing. But maybe that's way more expensive. So it's not something that I've looked into at all, but maybe eventually.
I would love it. I think streaming, we all know, like we all say it all echoes, like streaming is definitely getting bigger and stuff. And I think our little circle of the hobby is pretty a little bit ahead, or has the jump a little bit on stuff. Like we're pretty good about navigating those waters. But I think with streaming, I think if people aren't teaming up right now to make it bigger, I think you're gonna kind of get left a little bit behind. I think now's the time we start kind of structuring and figuring out how to create the longevity in it. You know, how to stabilize and say, hey, I'm here to stay, when it's so competitive. There's so many people selling, you know, and then streaming is just going to get bigger and the floodgates are going to open. So I think this is the time that everybody needs to get structured and figure out all this stuff now, so we can sustain and move forward down the road.
Yeah.
But it's my opinion.
Yeah, I would love a little office space.
Yeah.
It'd be super cool, because I could stream from there. We could you could do the eBay live from there. All the inventory would be there. Like it would make things so much more cohesive or streamlined.
Yeah.
Java upset he can't black out on stream is sort of
yeah, that was crazy.
No, I just have to go to Whatnot for that.
Yeah.
Then I can hit my kid too and all this.
Yeah.
Nampy, what's up?
Nampy, what up?
Legendary Treasures, what's going on?
Hey, what up? Another eBay live.
Sounds like Chef is hinting Java to get it together and just team up with them. We are teamed up. What are you talking about? We're team.
Hoo Hoot's got all the sass this one, had all the questions on every other one. Hoo Hoot, get your chat GPT going.
What's up, Mason? How's it going?
Java, get your stuff together. Mason, I miss you, man.
Let's see. Do I have any questions that we didn't already talk about? What? Oh, we kind of already talked about that. What struggles have you encountered with streaming, and how have you addressed them?
My struggle is time.
Yeah,
my struggle is time, and I'm trying to get more consistent with the schedule, and I'm trying to figure out what's the best schedule, but it stinks because I don't even have the time to experiment that much with that. I just kind of shoot the shot and hopefully, that comes up solid. But the things that I have been doing as far as navigating time has been working, and then pivoting different times or whatever. It's been very good, but I definitely wish I had more time, man. I wish I had more time. I think, not for nothing, I think my job, again, very good job, very stable job, very lucrative job, all that stuff. But I still think it holds me back from what I can do. And I think I can do better than my job on the stream. I'm pretty positive. I really do. The stream is very, very good. It's very strong. It's very consistent. It's consistently getting bigger, bigger, bigger. I think it's sustainable. It's funny because I probably have the opposite problem of every streamer streaming, which I have more inventory than what I can get rid of because of time. So I'm always buying. I'm always, doing stuff, getting consignments, everything from you. So there's always like a flow. I don't really have that problem. My problem is just time to turn the streams on and go. And again, I'm working really hard towards a different scenario and kind of rearranging my stars a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys want to do a coffee shop, I'm down. Bullfather actually reached out to me months ago and was like, "Hey, I got this idea for a coffee shop, and all this stuff." And it's like,
I love coffee.
I don't think.
Can we do the coffee shop raves? Have you seen those? Have you seen those morning raves? That's the new old people club. We're not going to the club, but these mom and pop coffee shops are putting on full DJ smoke machines, raves in the coffee shop, and we're waking up, baby. We're waking up. That's what I want to do. I want to go to one of those so bad.
This is what we need to do. We need to get an office. We need your grandpa to come and ship stuff. We need my grandma to come in and pre-grade. We need you to stream. I'll source. We'll have a whole setup. There you go. Oh man, that would be insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we can have coffee shop raves in the morning.
I'm down. I'll host them. I'll be on the DJ mic.
Let's go.
Right? Doing all the noises. Yeah. Throwing the napkins in the air. We're waking up.
In my opinion, it's really hard to stream when you're not doing it full time.
I totally agree, man. It's very frustrating on my end because I can do so much more with streaming and I can have a lot more fun with it. And I can do a lot more with social media. There's a lot of things and ideas and really leaning into that whole full circle part of it and being the person, the face, the personality, really being out there. I could do a lot. And there's a lot I could do in the community with other chefs too and related to Pokemon. There's just so many things and opportunities. And I'm so tied down, man. And I feel it frustrates me a lot because I feel very held back, and I know what could be there, and I know what I could do, and like, man, I just wish I
Yeah,
could do it, you know.
it's tough. I know that I asked Nick, I said, would you recommend somebody go full time in a boom or not in a boom? And he was like, absolutely not in a boom.
Yeah, I would say
Like
not
you
in the
shouldn't go
too.
full time in a boom
Yeah,
because
I would say not in
you, yeah, you have an unrealistic expectation of how it's always going to be, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just because I think about it too. Like I get frustrated with work and it's like, I could probably make this work. It doesn't work right now, but if I had to, I could probably lean in further and make it work. But I don't know.
And not for nothing, like Nick has been streaming for almost 2 years now. You know, he's been in the dip, and I watched him in the dip. You know, and it was fine. And he
Yeah.
did very well navigating that stuff. You know, and he still maintained full time. But he's very experienced of the whole wealth of knowledge. And then again, he's pretty much pioneered everything on eBay and building that stuff up. But yeah, I would say the same thing, like in the dip, not the boom, and figuring out how to navigate all that stuff to come out on top. But he's done. I mean, it's no secret. Everything I know, I've pretty much learned from him and Walrus. You know,
Yeah.
watching you guys and like different things from Dan. That's like my core group that I like bounce stuff off of. And then I'm like constantly, if I don't know something, I have no problem saying, hey, I don't know it. Tell me, teach me. I don't care. You're younger than me. Or like, it doesn't matter to me. If there's something I need to know or want to know and that you can help teach me something, like I'm open-minded. I'm all ears and I'm going to ask the question. I don't care if you think I'm stupid or anything like that. I want to know. And I genuinely want to learn. You know, I ask BB stuff. I mean, I don't think there's a single person in this hobby or in our circle I've never asked a question to, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm always asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to always, like you said, always be open to the different ways that you can improve, even if it's coming from somebody, you know, that you don't know, or, you know, even just being open to ideas and challenging your own ideas with new ideas and just constantly refining the way you do things or the way you think about things is very good for sure. Some people get a big head about what they think they know, and then they shut out all other, you know, potential options.
I think that's another thing I got from like the kitchen too, because you can learn something from anybody in the kitchen. Like your dishwasher can show you like a new way of like cutting something, or you're like, oh man, you know, I've been here 30 years, you know, never seen anybody do it like that. So I think being open-minded is a huge advantage. If you're willing to listen and be open-minded and identify when somebody knows something or does something better than you should learn how to do it just as good, if not better than them, or learn the information and work at it until you are better than them. That's how I am, or that's where I get stubborn, where I want to learn the information and then I want to do it better than you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What do you think is the most useful kitchen utensil that most people don't have?
Oh, that is such a good one. Most useful kitchen utensil most people do not have. Everybody's got a knife. Maybe like I use microplanes a lot. I think everybody should have a microplane or like a jacquard. I would say that the jacquard. Dan, I sent one to Dan and he was like, I hate this thing or whatever. He didn't say that. Like, a jacquard, JACCARD. They're fairly cheap. They're like 15, 20 bucks. Change your kitchen life. It'll change your kitchen life. It's a tenderizer. So basically it's like a block. It's like, I don't know, just like this block.
Yeah.
And it's got a handle and it's got spikes, and then you jacquard all the meat, and pretty much it's like little blades that go in and tenderize everything. But it makes it makes Dan's $2 Walmart steak taste like, filet mignon and like texture wise. So you can use it on like chicken, pork, steak. But I think a jacquard is like a game changer when you have that and you're like making the same dishes. It's great for marinating. It's great. It's just That's definitely the one. Jacquard, get a Jacquard ASAP, and they're so cheap. They're so cheap.
What do you follow or watch any food based content creators at all on YouTube, or is it's mostly just Pokemon stuff?
No, a lot of chefs are like personality, or like just a lot of faces and stuff, and I don't care that much for what they do. There is certain chefs I do like and respect, but they're not showboating or doing all these things on TV. The only one that's kind of very popular on TV that I do like and respect, and I think is knowledgeable, and they're actually a very nice person, I think, outside and like all this stuff, is Ramsey. Everybody knows Gordon Ramsay, but I think he's like very good as far as like structuring the business and what he knows how to do and all that stuff. So I like him, but there's a lot of chefs, like the chefs I like are the ones on like Netflix on Chef's Table. That documentary is incredible. And those are some of the real chefs. But again, those are the chefs who are in their kitchen 90 hours a week, sleeping there and all that stuff. So it's such a sacrifice. I think even for me being a chef, I think if I devoted that much time and energy into food and kitchen, I can absolutely get to that point in my chef career if I wanted to. I think, again, this is the only thing I know how to do. I've done it since I was 14 years old. I've worked in restaurants. I'm very knowledgeable, very good at it, all this stuff. And I don't have a doubt in my mind that I can recreate all this stuff. Because when you start cooking and you've cooked for as long as I have, it's really it's the same techniques all the time. You're just changing up a plating or doing this different, or it's really the same stuff. So you get to a point where like cooking by far is the easiest part of the job. And if you're a chef, it should be the easiest part of your job. Like it should be a no-brainer. Chef knows how to cook, right? So I don't know. I forget where I was like kind of going in with that. But yeah.
Do you think that
my train of thought?
Do you think that a James Beard Award or a Michelin star is actually a reflection of how good a restaurant is?
Yes, but I think it's a gift and a curse, and most chefs don't like to have them. And if I was a chef, I don't think that I would want mine either. I don't know. I think the first one I would want just to have it. And then after that, I don't think I'd ever want to win one again. And the reason why is because everything's great when you have the star, but if they take that star away one time, your business goes down. And do you want to risk your business and all your employees' lives on your Michelin star? So it's almost like the greater good to kind of not take it a little bit, to kind of protect everybody, unless you're like gassed up. Hey, we got this all the time, you know. But it's just different. Like kitchens are, man, rough stuff.
Yeah, it was funny. I was watching. Well, when we were in Kyoto, we were staying 3-4 blocks away from this ramen restaurant that didn't even have a Michelin star, but it was shouted out in the Michelin guide. It didn't even have a star, but when we would walk past this place at like 10 a.m., they would have a line all the way around the block already, and they were just shouted out in the guide, like a recommendation. So yeah, I mean, I can imagine that it probably does a lot of good, but also kind of like when what's his name, the pizza guy, the Portnoy guy, when he goes around to the different pizza restaurants, like I'm sure he does a lot of good, but I've also heard a lot of stories where like he gives a really positive review, and then that restaurant is totally unprepared for the amount of people that show up and want to eat their pizza, and then people come away with bad experiences because they have so much that they're trying to do, and then it seems so like tricky, it could be a nightmare. Yeah,
it is. It's so tricky.
I was watching a big I think is he called The Meat Guy or something on YouTube? He's got like 10 million subs or something crazy, but he was doing some sort of comparison or and he shouted out your restaurant chain as one of the best steakhouses in the United States. He's like, yeah, man. You said the name and I was like, oh shit, that's cool. That was just a few months ago. So when are you doing a fast food tier list with Java? Oh Oh shit! Well, I have to try Cookout first, or else he might kill me.
I can't believe you haven't. I almost threw something at the screen just now. I cannot believe you live here and you never had like your staple. Like, and it's one of the best things I've ever had in North Carolina. That's like one of the things that I'm like, hey, North Carolina might have something. You know, it's Cookout. It's the secret's in Cookout.
Hey, I would like to try it. All right, I will. We have one very close to us now.
Just because they had Cookout on their application, and I just wanted to know about Cookout, and I did the whole interview. It's probably the most selfish thing I've ever done in a restaurant, but I wanted to know the questions about Cookout so bad.
So, Hoodoo's wondering what Cookout is. So, Cookout is a restaurant, as far as I can tell. It's basically like American style food, but you can get like a main course, but then for your sides, you can also have them as mains. So you can be like, I want a cheeseburger, and then I want corn dogs, and then I want
like, you'll be like, here's what do you want? You want a double burger, and then your side, you're like, as a side, how about another burger? You know? And then what's your second side? I guess a quesadilla. You're like, all right, pull around. It's like it's Disney World of fast food over there, and everything is fresh. They get a delivery 6 days a week. They don't put the meat doesn't go in the freezer at all. They have all their shakes, use all fresh ingredients. Like they crush it. They do such a good job for what they do, and it's amazing. And it's like half the price. It's like Five Guys quality, but half the price. And it's just like it's just a big playground, big food playground. You can get corn dogs and hush puppies and nuggets and whatever you want as a side. Doesn't matter. Just pull around.
It's basically what every European thinks every restaurant in America is.
For my 30th birthday party, it was the only time I had anybody from back home fly up to North Carolina, and he's like my brother. He's like a brother to me. So when I introduce him, I'll say he's my brother. But anyways, he flew up for my birthday. We got so hammered, and we paid the Uber driver to take us to Cookout. But then I bought the Uber driver Cookout too to take us back. But that was like the big night. The big night was Cookout. You know, we wanted to do Cookout, and I was like, Uber driver, if you take us there and take us back, I will buy you whatever you want.
Can't do a tier list without the food in front of them.
Oh, so that'd be dope.
I've actually had this idea, and we should do it together. I've had a video idea for like 2 years, but I don't think anyone will watch it if I make it. That's why I haven't made it yet. But you know how people will do like, you know, which chicken sandwich is the best fast food chicken sandwich, and like make those types of videos and compare them. I wanted to incorporate something with Pokemon cards and like trying to guess. Like a guessing game with food. Mm-hmm. So it'd be like if you get it wrong, you have to like cut a pack, and then afterward you check if you cut anything bad. But then when I think about it, I'm like, people really don't like when people cut packs. but I'm like, I don't know what else a good punishment would be if you get it wrong that would incorporate Pokemon. So I don't know. I've tried to think of that type of like different stuff than what people are doing, you know. Yeah. For content, but it's tough because something like that, even if I made it, it would probably do like half the views as my most recent freaking CGC return or some bullshit. Like you put all this time into something and it's.
I wish we could do something with butchering. I love butchering. So like breaking down whatever, like I wish I could do a lot more of that. I posted a couple things on Instagram butchering, but I really wish I could do a full butcher, breakdown, cook, like the whole shebang.
Oh, did you hear that Hoodoo's trying to steal your idea?
What?
I'm calling him out. I'm calling Hoodoo out.
Call him out. Tell me now.
He's trying to steal your idea of traveling around to different Pokemon people and cooking with them.
Don't do it.
He's trying.
That's my thing. Come on. I want to have Pokemon. I want them like very professionally filmed though. That's like my one thing. Like I want to spend money to do it, to like make a season, high quality, like zoom ins, very conversation. We're in there. We're looking at food, all this stuff, like a friggin' Netflix documentary. And I want to fly to like Nick, not you. I'm driving you, but like whoever, you know, Beerski, Walrus, whatever. And like, again, hey, what's your favorite food? Let's make that. And then while we're making that, I'm showing you how to make that, but we're also sitting down and eating and having like a Pokemon discussion or like something like that. But I just want it very like, like nicely done, very elegant, very like enjoyable. Like you walk away and you're like, wow, man, that was pretty crazy, pretty cool. But man, I want to do that so bad. I think that'd be crazy amazing.
Do they have like kitchens that you can rent, like prep kitchens or something in different areas?
One of my old sous chefs opened up a ghost kitchen in the area, and he was booming during COVID. I don't know what he's doing now, but yeah, they have. I thought about doing streams from the ghost kitchens, like Pokemon streams from like those professional ghost kitchens. And then I thought about if I were to ever leave my job, I'll rent out one of the private rooms and stream out of it. But I thought that might be a slap in the face or something. Like the ultimate flex on that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that.
You're like, yesterday I quit my job and now I'm streaming from here.
Yeah, I bought the room. that'd be wild.
Oh man. Never seen Benji cookies capping.
That's true.
I've said this idea since Beerski Palooza. Chef has taken too long.
It's true. It's true.
Well,
I need time. I need time.
Yes, Benji versus Chef. Chopped style winner gets the show.
We should do a collect. Whenever we have another Collecticon or there's a B&B, somebody should give me and somebody else like a mystery basket. And
Benji,
say, let's go.
I'm just going to say, I have had Chef's cooking 3 times now. Whatever you're going to make, I'm sorry, man. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. Good luck.
I want
it would be funny to do that in Edison.
Huh?
You guys do like a little cooking challenge in Edison? I would
love to do it. We should. That'd be a cool thing. Like, hey, you film whoever is buying the mystery basket, and then you guys put together like these crazy mystery baskets. But it's got to be like we can just make something. We have to be able to make something out of it. It can't be like, M&Ms and like a piece of cheese. Like what? But yeah, like if you guys film that, the back part, and then film like us like getting them and then doing it, like edit it all, it would probably be really, really cool from like a behind the scenes Collecticon, like another side of Collecticon that people don't get to see.
Yeah. Another funny idea that I've seen people do is basically like a person is cooking and the chef is giving instructions, but they can only follow the instructions to the T.
That would be a funny video.
Yeah.
We should do that too. That'd be hilarious. Because when I saw Beerski, I think Beerski and Dan had one job to grow the corn.
They were at least a few IPAs deep at that point.
I'm like, what are you doing in the corn? It's the easiest job out of everything is turn it. That's it.
Oh man.
Like, come on. I love them.
What's up, Albert?
I'm like, well, this half we're just not going to use. We're just not going to use all of this corn. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh man. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm trying to think of. I think I keep writing all these questions, and then somehow we answer all of them essentially throughout just chatting. I did that one. Hot take and act of kindness. So something that either you did for someone else or someone did for you, and a hot take in the hobby.
Let's do
start with either one.
I like negative news first because the positive news builds you up. So negative, hot take. I guess business wise, I don't like Collecticons. Hot take. I like the friend part and the homie part, but if I'm going there for business and sourcing and buying and all that stuff, I don't like it. I would 1,000% a local show, 10 out of 10. I'm not even interested in I'm not interested in going to Collecticons for purchasing and buying. And that sounds crazy because that's like a good place to do all that stuff. But a lot of people at Collecticons are also tightening up that belt, it seems like. It's just so many people. And again, I get very introverted and there's like my social battery is like up there, and then it goes, you know, and then it's hard to like talk through all that and wheel and deal, and then it makes a little bit awkward for the guy who's selling to you, because maybe this dude next to you just wants like 2 cards, and then he just gave me this deal, and then now this guy's standing there. So it's just like there's a lot of like that stuff. So I don't like Collecticon for that. However, I have the time of my life at Collecticon. You know, I just don't like it for like, if I'm thinking financials, I don't like it. So that's why like last year I went all in because it was something new. I really wanted to like experience it. I wanted to bond. I wanted to see. I wanted to meet people, and I don't regret it at all. It's like one of the best years that I've had in a long time as far as like fun and meeting. Like I just love every aspect as far as that. But if I'm going strictly for a business, I hate them. I don't like them.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a hot take. Maybe that's not. But
yeah, I think I was in Chicago this weekend at Collecticon, and then 2 weeks ago I was in Miami, and this is the first time. I'm not going to count Miami. That was weird. It flew in the morning, flew out at night. It was freaking ridiculous.
She made it.
Yeah, but Chicago, it was the first time that I went to a Collecticon. I think it was the first con that I didn't vend. I went just to hang out and to walk around and buy. And I really enjoyed that, because when everyone wants to go get lunch, you can just hop out and go get lunch with people. If you want to leave the con early, if you need to go take a nap, if you need to, do whatever you need to do, you can do that. Otherwise, everyone just kind of like, once everyone got to the convention, people were doing their things, and everyone just kind of like went to different corners of the con. And because me and Spat buy the same shit, basically the same shit. So I was like, I'm going to start in that corner. You start in that corner. And we'll like figure it out. So yeah, so that was fun in that way. And you're more available to be able to do things. And when you have awesome people like Grimer, who's willing to literally take a whole one of his tables and make it like a consignment table. So I could put cards and slabs and stuff in there. Like I made $1,000, and it was just Grimer slinging my cards. Like that was awesome. So the fact that he was willing to do that is super sick. And Ponga also, I got to shout out Ponga. He also could sign some stuff for Spat. So both those guys were willing to use their space to help other people sell, which is awesome.
Man,
and
Java you just dumping them everywhere. Everybody's selling. We're selling. Everybody's selling Java. So Java's the true kingpin over here.
I'm just like, you take that, you take that, you take that. I DM Nick early today. I was like, you want to sell that? You want to buy that? Yeah, I got a lot of slabs to get rid of, man. That's only a part of it. But yeah, okay, Grimer, chill. Yo, relax.
Heyo.
All right.
I remember being in Jersey Collecticon and remember how packed it was. And I remember me and Bierski tagging along in there, walking around, and we're just looking at each other and we're like, this is crazy. And then we're like, let's go get pastrami. So we went to like the pastrami place, and it's like the best pastrami I've ever had in my life. It was such an awesome place. Yeah. That was better than the Collecticon. But I remember looking at him and being like, let's go get these sandwiches, man.
Yeah. Saturday at the Collecticon was insane. Like the Miami one was pretty chill. Yeah. It was actually really slow for a Saturday. But holy crap, Saturday in Chicago was crazy. Like there's so many tables you just couldn't walk up to because it was full of people. Like you just had to skip it and go to the next one. And it really sucked because, of course, they probably have decent stuff, but it's like there's just way too many people in here. But like Ponga brought a bunch of sealed, and I think he was in the 5 figures in like the first hour because people were just buying like his PCETB cases and his collection boxes and like booster boxes and all sorts of this sealed shit that he brought. He was just slinging, wheeling, dealing, and to like all the other vendors, and he was killing it. But yeah, Saturday was crazy. But yeah, Sunday was much more chill. We were just able to like walk around and hang out and do stuff. So it was pretty good. Yeah. Can't imagine you being an introvert, Chef. Yeah. He's an extrovert on live, just like me.
If
the camera's not on, I'm not on.
Vouch, right? All the homies can vouch. When I'm in the B&B with everybody, I'm pretty off to the side a little bit.
Pretty chill, yeah.
Pretty chill. And then I'm not good at like if we're doing any extracurricular stuff. I'm not good at like the social vibe of that. I get like awkward. So like I just chill. I just stay in my little bubble. But I have a little social battery, but when it's done, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Like when
But on this, yeah, I can be like, hey.
yeah, for me it's all about the number of people. Like if I'm in a room and there's like 3 or 4 people and we're all just hanging out and having fun, like I'm cool. If I'm in a room with like 30 people or 25 people, then you're gonna find me in the corner just chilling. because that is too much for me.
Once I get to know everybody a lot, I'll like open up.
Yeah.
But it takes a little bit for me to like do whatever.
Yeah. So tell us about your almost purchase this weekend that I was going to yell at you for, but Bierski texted you before I could.
Oh man,
Bierski found me and I was like, "Did you just get this text from Chef?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I don't think that's a good idea." He's like, "I don't think so either. I'm going to text it back."
No, and I ended up agreeing. I definitely ended up agreeing. But yeah, I was trying to buy an Art Academy Pikachu. I'm not gonna say like the details or anything like that.
The Chef one.
Yeah, the Chef Art Academy P, and I really want that. The other one I like more though. So the Revern or the Revern where he's like leaning with the soft spot, that's like my favorite. That's like my favorite. But the opportunity to get that and like kind of the price point, it was like I was very intrigued and I was like, yeah, I can make this work and not really like mess with what I got going on with eBay. You know, this is kind of stuff I can kind of throw out and do it. But I ended up not doing it because there's like a little like crease or something and I just can't do it. You know. But I do love that card and it was the first time where it could have been somewhat real. But I decided not and I'm kind of happy. I guess I'm happy either way, but I'm happier that I didn't do it because I'd be upset that I would look at that and it would always be like right there. And Chef eyes, man, you know, all the details. So it's like I would only stare at that all the time. So I'm glad I didn't like FOMO into that, but man.
You got to get a nice like high resolution of the card, put it on a nice canvas, you know, get it up in the office until you pull the trigger on it.
I need to get out. What if we did cutting boards with cards? That'd be dope. If I can get a cutting board with a card that wouldn't like mess up. But that'd be a cool cutting board with like the Chef Pikachu on it.
Yeah. You'd have to like epoxy over it or something, or however they would.
That's kind of a good idea.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah. Good friends to talk you out of a bad idea. It wouldn't have necessarily been a bad idea.
No, and then I knew the people, they're great people and everything. So it wasn't anything like crazy. I wish I would have been there in person to deal with whatever more, but Bierski was kind of like my champion for that. And like it was all, I don't know. I guess it was like nothing, whatever.
Yeah. The time it'll come eventually.
Yeah, it just didn't shake out, but maybe one day down the road, whatever. But I was comfortable with everybody and you know everybody involved and everything. Like everything was cool. With the scenario that it would have been the one time like yeah for sure I felt okay. You know,
I think I actually saw because I went to that booth. Do you want me to say whose booth it was? Does it matter?
I don't know if it matters on their end or not, so I don't want to speak for them.
Okay. Well, I went up to their booth because they had a bunch of incredible cards. Like he had trophies, he had a couple art academies, including the Pika. He had some insane cards. I don't know where he got those from. I don't know how in the world he's gonna sell them at. I wonder if he actually sold any or got any interest in any at Collecticon because I don't know how you're gonna sell like some of the trophy cards he had in there were like $40,000 or something. It's like, are people actually there willing to sling that amount on one?
All you need is a Dan and radar, right?
Yeah,
I mean Dan radar in a case, right?
Yeah, true.
It appears.
I did see it was the only potentially high value purchase because the Mario. I hate the fact that I love the Mario Pika because I love the Mario going Pika up in price.
So we share the same guilt.
So annoying.
It is.
But I saw a raw Mario Pika at a table, and I was like, "Oh, here's my chance! It's raw." It'll probably be like a decent price. And I went up to him and I was like, what's the price on the Mario Pika? And he said, 8.5
Oh, for the raw?
for the raw. A 10 is like 9.5. It's like, how are you? What? And the centering was like a little bit off. So I thought, oh my God, this is going to be perfect. And no, 8.5. I think the 9 is like between 4 and 5, maybe. I don't know where the 9's at now.
If I was where
I know
I'm
the 10
at
is
now,
huge.
when that Mario Pikachu was $4,000 and a 10, I would buy it now. Then that's
I
how
would
bad.
too.
But now, yeah, but now, like with it being 9, almost $10,000 or $10,000, like man. At the same time, like it's just like an AR, you know. But I freaking love like Mario and Pokemon. Those are like the two things, you know. And it's like,
it's a super unique.
I want those 4 cards so bad. At some point, those 4 cards and I don't know if it's Revern or Ryvern or however you pronounce it, but that Pikachu right there, those are like the 5 grails that I want so stinking bad. And the shout out to Grimer for getting me a grail. Grimer got the perfect 10 chef card.
Wait,
you have it. I could have got it today. I forgot you have it. Oh, no, shout out to the GOAT. He already lost it. This is what, a Pop 2, baby? Pop 2. Perfect 10 blue label. Let's go. Shout out to Grimer for the lookout.
There's only 2 of these.
That's so
and
sick.
One just like walked up to Grimer's table.
Grimer knew what to do, man.
It's like, how?
The ultimate homie right there, Grimer.
Crazy.
I can't read it.
It's so sick.
It's just like a recipe. Chefs don't need them, man.
It's such a good card, man.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah. So I'll definitely get that to you soon.
Tomorrow. I want that tomorrow.
Jazz is wondering, what other hobbies do you have outside of Pokemon?
This is it. This is what you get. I don't even want to say cooking is like the hobby, because it's not. I like I don't know, if I'm not doing Pokemon, I'm not doing something. I'm trying to do stuff with my kids or like go out, but it's just Pokemon on top of Pokemon on top of Pokemon. It's kind of that same answer. Like I don't like anything like this. This is what I like doing. So this would be it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm big movie and TV buff, I guess. I like to chill and relax and watch a good show. By the way, if you guys have HBO Max, The Pit, it's a medical drama about an ER in Pittsburgh. It's super insanely good. I highly recommend. Very good. Check it out. Yeah, Chef, you play what, Overwatch?
Video games. I love video games. So like, yeah, Mario, Pokemon games, but yeah, Overwatch 2 is my game. And then I play 2 games on the phone pretty much nightly. So if you guys are ever on there, please add me and I will play the game with you. But there's an app game called Brawl Stars, BRAWL Stars. I freaking love that game. And I'm like, you know how like when you get in on something on the ground floor, you can be like the original, like whatever username, I'm the original chef on there. I'm only chef, no numbers, no nothing on there. I'm like OG, just chef on Brawl Stars. And then I play the Pokemon TCG app pretty much nightly too, but not Pocket. I don't like Pocket. Maybe that's another hot take. I don't like Pocket, but the regular app, I play that I do play that nightly. I play both of those nightly. But yeah, that and Overwatch and anything Mario, those are the ones.
Nice. Yeah, I play Rocket League occasionally.
Yeah, I like Rocket League.
Oh, we play some video games every like Friday, Saturday. We've been playing Halo recently. But yeah, every Friday, Saturday night, some of the homies get together, play some video games. Oh, Grimer's heard The Pit. Yeah, The Pit's really good. You should watch it. Do you have a nickname from childhood? Does Paperclip know something?
I've had it like a couple, depending on like where I was, or I changed schools a lot. So like all the schools, I had a different one. Some of them are funny, some of them are like whatever. A lot of it from a certain point, it's always just been chef from there on out. But a couple of them, there's one time I grew up in Hollywood, so they call me Hotbox in Hollywood. Or there's another one. Butterball was another one. Baby Blue was another one. And they would say Babe Blue, just random, just don't even ask how it just came about, but like random, like funny ones. But a lot of times it's just been Chef or Matt, or people do all the stuff with like the names of Matt, like Matty Ice and all, like all these crazy, like whatever, Madagascar, all that stuff. But I don't really have like a crazy nickname. It's always been like Matt or Chef all the time.
Yeah, same. My first name's Tyler, so everyone just called me Ty.
Yeah.
It's easy. Does your wife like Pokemon too? I know your daughter liked to rip packs with you.
Nah, she does not. She does not like anything Pokemon at all. Like at all. She's just like, all right, it's cool. Or I'll be like, hey, look at this card. Or this card reminds me. And she's like, okay. Like, all right. I'll go back to my little stream room.
Oh man. All right. Well, we can wrap it up here. I appreciate you guys being here.
We gotta do kindness. Do kindness.
Oh yeah, shit.
I do kindness because I got one. I told the story in the stream the other day, and it hit me when you asked me. Let me get this. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory. So in the restaurant, I've said this on a couple lives, like I used to have like packs at the restaurant, or like just like bulk cards or whatever, and I'd give them out to, there's not many kids that make it to the restaurant, so I always try to make it a little bit fun or familiar for them so they don't feel like out of place or whatever. Just, I don't know. So there's one time a little girl came in, and she, like, I was actually at the table because it was the mom's birthday, and I was talking, and come to find out, like, the little girl, they had said she really likes Pokemon. I was like, oh my gosh, do you know who you're talking to? You know, I'm like, I love Pokemon. So I just like went crazy with that. It was talking to her. So then I always ask people, or like kids specifically, I'm like, what's your favorite Pokemon? And at the time she said Charmander. So I'm like, all right. So they said that they were going to come for her birthday the next year. So from that time to her birthday, as I was doing stuff for like all these cards, I have a little box on the shelf over there, and I like will buy stuff and like put Charmanders or like whatever, like the Charmander ETB promos and like whatever, like any Charmander. I had like the Time magazine, just the old empty ETB boxes, anything Charmander, whatever. So then she came for her birthday, and she brought packs. I had packs. We ripped packs. We ended up pulling the gold Charizard, Obsidian Flames, and that was like crazy. It was awesome. But then that day that I gave her all the Charmander stuff, she was like, well, now my favorite is Eevee. And I was like, all right. So then same thing. I had the box. I put all the Eevees, but this is a great year for Eevee. So like hooking this little girl up with all the good Eevees, prismatic ETB promos, reverse holo Pokeball, like all the whole jazz, everything Eevee. So she comes to her birthday, absolutely loves it. Hands me 3 packs. It's a V-Star Universe. I want to say it was like a 151 or something else. And then she handed me this pack, which is just like a promo pack of like 4 cards. So I opened this one. They're like, open this one last. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like ripping packs in the, I wonder if I have it here, but in the one pack of the V-Star Universe, we ended up pulling the Gardenia's Vigor V-Star. Mm-hmm. And we pulled the Mew that's in that set that's not in the English version, and we pulled like a Holler Energy. It's right here. Oh, and the Regigigas. We pulled all 4 of these out of the one pack. So I was like, oh my gosh. So it's kind of crazy. And the little girl, I'm like, oh, we pulled like cute cards, and I'm like take them. And she wouldn't accept them. She was like so polite, and her parents were like wanting her to be polite and stuff like that. So anyways, I get to this other pack and I open it, and the first thing I notice is like there's only supposed to be 4 cards in here, and the first thing I noticed, there's more than 4 cards. But I was like, all right, you know, was whatever. And then one of the cards was like Japanese, and I was like, but I didn't say nothing about it. But then the last card had, I'm not going to show her face, but the last card had this, and it's a card of like a picture that me and her took one time at the restaurant. And they had this made, and it's like tag team is dope. I freaking love tag team. And then they have like the HP is her birthday, and then all the attacks is like it's like Michelin star, table service, and then tag teams rule, chef special filet mignon cooked to medium rare perfection. It's just a lot of like cool stuff. And Michelin stars embark on a journey of the senses and experience the pinnacle of dining. Chef Matt and Elise will prepare for you a 5-course meal worthy of Michelin stars. The other attack is table service. Enjoy white glove service as our staff attends to your every need during your dining experience. So, but when I pulled this, I like, obviously I didn't expect it. So I like, you know me, if you've watched anything I pulled on a stream, I like lose it. So like when I pulled this, I lost it. I was like, no, like, and I'm in the middle of the dining room. And like everybody's looking at like this crazy chef, and we have like all these Pokemon wrappers and stuff everywhere. But this was like one of the coolest things, like one of the coolest surprises, like somebody's ever done. Between that and like the stuff from like the hobby, like Walrus and all the cards signed from like Wonder, and just all like that's what's behind me, all like signed homie cards and stuff like that. But like this was like one thing of kindness. I was like, it was so cool. I like giving, and like I don't know. I think that's like fun when you do something thoughtful for somebody else.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's not often it goes this way, but it was like, man, how cool, man. I'm still like blown away by like her mom and her dad did that. And then the picture came out so great, and it's like it's in the kitchen. I don't know. It's just really good. I love it. I freaking love it. Love it so much.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Best story yet. Yeah,
that was such, I'll never forget that. And again, it was such a surprise. Like you don't expect that. That's like the last thing you expect. Yeah. And especially with everything going on, and you're like, whoa. And it's done so good. They did so good. So shout out to them. I don't want to put them on blast just to be respectful, just in case. But
yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's a great positive thing to end on. Chef, if you want to just tell everyone where they can find you again, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yes. So please find me on eBay Live, PokeChef954. Hit that save seller button so it notifies you every time I go live. Also, you can find me on Instagram, PokeChef954. Please follow me on both. But I do post a lot in the stories for Instagram, and I keep everything updated for eBay through Instagram. So to get the most recent updates of what I'm doing for eBay is through Instagram. Sometimes you get sneak peeks. Sometimes you get hungry, I guess. But yeah, Instagram and eBay Live. Shout out to eBay Live. Shout out to the eBay Live team. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Nick, Weedle, PTC, eBay Live, baby. eBay Live, eBay Live. That's where it's at.
All right. I just dropped links to eBay and links to Instagram in the chat. Definitely go over and follow and save seller and do all the things. Thanks for having Chef on. Of course.
Thanks for all the eBay Live people here. I was telling Java before the stream, I was like, I really hope the eBay Live crowd comes. It's like,
yeah, man.
It's like when you want your mom or dad come into your game. That's how I thought I wanted like my eBay Live people to come. So thank you. Thank you, everybody,
thank you guys. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, if you guys don't know, I'm doing a 30 for 30. I'm talking to 30 people for every night in the month of April. So if you like these chats and you want to come by for a future one, tomorrow I will be talking to Ernie at 8 p.m. He's a guy who does a lot of Japanese Pokemon and stuff, as well as me, and flipping and making money and all that. So yeah, come by tomorrow. And thank you again, Chef, for coming by. And I hope you all have a great night.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.